A very good afternoon to everybody joining us today on YouTube from a bit of a South Africa. Monday we had a very warm day. Yesterday was another excessively hot day, as well as this morning. And the result you can see me is it's rather dark and gloomy out. So we are going to try best as possible to keep away from the rain this afternoon, and hopefully we'll stay nice and dry out here. We will be staying fairly local to the Painted Dog HQ, just so that if it does start to pour down, we are fairly close and we can keep all of the equipment safe, so we can carry on doing future drives with you. But quite nice, you know, just starting off the drive here at Mamba Dam on the iconic Rietspruit Reserve here in Rietspruit. We've got two different bird species currently at the dam. We've got the one that I'm sure you would have seen with Basil. Basil's on camera this afternoon, and V is in FC. So you can see there is a yellow-billed stork at the water, and there's a very unhappy looking grey heron further to the right. Sorry Basil, I think I've parked the car in a bit of a tough position for you to get that. And back, I've got on a lot of the animals to find a few of the species and so forth, almost looking like they're a bit puffier. Kind of where what happens is a practice erection. So what that is, it's basically like us when we get chicken skin or goosebumps, and our body hairs get erected, and it's the body naturally just trying to retain the heat. And that is exactly what is happening with that very grumpy looking grey heron over there. So let's get going. It's not the most conducive weather, but you know, we always give it a shot out here and we make the most of every game drive. So let's get in, let's see what we find, and hope we can get lucky this afternoon. You know, with this cooler weather, it could be an opportunity as well to see a few more species now that it is cooler and everything's able to move around, using up less energy and so forth. So we might get lucky. We have also already had one storm that passed through maybe about an hour and a half ago, and it absolutely bucketed down. So we're hoping that that's not going to be a repeat in the next 2 hours while we are out on our epic live game drive safari. I think, you know, for all of us out here at Painted Dog, we've actually really received this weather well. It's well overdue. We really need it. The bush really needs it, and it's also just so nice to cool everything down out here. You can imagine on those very warm days, it's not too pleasant for us as well as the animals. So this is a welcome relief. So once again, I've got my cell phone over here, and I'm going to be checking your comments as we go along, and we can then interact and have a chat. Let's see what is going on. Yeah, Basil, you did pretty well getting that grey heron. Well done. I parked the vehicle in such a way that we could show you the approaching storm. And we have got lightning and thunder all around us, but that never puts us off. You know, you can never say you have a bad game drive, regardless whether you see one thing or the other. It's always just beautiful to be out here. And with the rain, it brings a hell of a lot of life. A lot of the amphibious life really just takes off. So it's a fantastic opportunity to also look at a few different aspects out here. But we are going to be heading further towards the Leadwood side, towards the northern side of the reserve, and see maybe we can get lucky and find some of the bigger game species. I think the cats will be huddled up under trees and hiding out, trying to stay dry. But in saying that, we never know what we will find. So off on another adventure. And again, thank you very much to Rogue for the little raindrops. The hat is keeping the raindrops out of the eyes, as well as to Stanley for keeping us hydrated throughout these hot days. And we can't go without thanking Dunlop and making sure we don't get stuck out here, and we've always got the best of the best tires. And hopefully we'll be able to bring our other sponsor up later with Lead Lenser, but not going to make any promises yet because we do not know what direction this weather is going to go. So we've got to try as best as possible to stay dry. But you'll notice also that you won't hear so many cicadas right now, you won't hear so many of the birds, and it's a result of the storm that we've just had about an hour and a half ago. So everything is still huddled up. It is quite chilly now, so that sudden weather change, it often disrupts multiple species out here. Causes them to bring up different habits, different behaviors and so forth. So we've also got to now alter our finding skills, so to speak, and we're going to be looking at different areas. Hence why we are not going where we went the other day, and we are going to be heading further north. So we won't be focusing on the dams, but more so the riverine areas, the riverbed areas, densely vegetated areas, because also areas that are going to allow, because with this wind they get very nervous. We got my first baby Impala for the season. See if we can get a little closer. So talking about the wind and the animals running, I'm not sure if you're able to see them very briefly there, but as soon as those Impalas saw us, it was and they took off. Now the reason why they become nervous is all of their senses get dulled with this wind and this weather. Firstly, they can't see everything properly, so they've got to be very, very cautious of what's going on around them. They cannot smell a predator approaching because of the wind swirling like it is currently. Here we go, here comes the Impala back. Let's see if the rest of the herd's going to come running back as well. No. And also with the wind, talking about that visual aspect, there we go. Yeah, it comes back. Yeah, it comes back. I think if we just stay on the road here, we might get them crossing, Basil. So now that two have crossed, a very good chance that the others are going to cross as well. So let's just stick on the road maybe for 2 to 3 minutes and see what they get up to. It's actually a whole herd just behind here. Yeah, so all of the animals are going to be really, really cautious of what's going on around them. There we go. And you'll get a better shot of them over there. Super, super skittish. But that run that they're currently doing there as well, it's a typical pronking that they do. And when they're doing that, kicking those back legs out, it's a very common run that they'll do when they are being chased by wild dogs. And because wild dogs come in so quickly, they don't have time really to react or to alarm call. So they do this pronking, and what they're doing while they're doing that is they've got these metatarsal glands, these little black spots on the back of their on the back legs. Now when they kick out like that, it actually leaves behind a scent. So it allows for the Impala, for the herd, to pick up on that scent after being chased, and allows them to then regroup again and come back together. In weather like this, it's absolutely crucial that they keep safety in numbers. Now you saw how they quickly came across this little clearing and then straight back into the thickets. And now they are playing the game of now you see me, now you don't, and they have taken off. But that was really epic. First little Impala of the season. I'm sure they're going to just start dropping them like flies now, and we will see a couple more as we go. Maybe not today, but more so over the next couple of days. But that is a awesome start. Really chuffed to see that. Let's see, the little one hadn't crossed the road and was somewhere here on the left. Maybe we can spot it here. But it's also difficult for us to try and spot the animals now with all of the vegetation swaying from left to right and almost integrating into one as such. So it becomes quite difficult to see through the bush. Has anybody seen a baby impala yet on any of the game drives? Be interested to know. Hopefully that's not your first one. Just getting back onto YouTube here, and then I will be able to see your comments. Hello everybody. Hi Carol. Hi Mary. Hi Connie. Hi Dee. Michael. It is a specific scent that the impalas will give off while they're kicking like that, and it's actually said that predators can't, so to speak, pick up on that scent. You know, a lot of these animals, they've got these various ways of communicating, and a lot of them are very specific scents. And when we're talking about the various scents and whatever, we refer to it as olfactory communication, which basically means communication through scent. Oof, I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but we have got some thunder. A little lamb again, but let's see if we can get a bit closer. It's amazing how quickly these animals can disappear. Just shows how impressive their camouflage is. Gone, hey Basil, can you see them? Not, eh? Judging by the tracks on the ground here, it does look like there is some youngsters. Let's see if we can see that cute little track there. It's just adults that side. There was one just behind here, but I have driven over it already. So I will see if we can find another one. But going back to the predator aspect, you know, this is a good hunting opportunity for, like I had mentioned previously, wild dogs and that sort. So yes, it's cold, but if the predators are hungry and they're looking for a hunting opportunity, this is the time to do it now, when there is so much environmental disturbance. So we shall see. Maybe we get lucky. You never know. I always say you can never go by the book for the bush, because it's always continuously changing, and the book will say one thing and you'll find that the behaviors are completely different. Michael, you saying Impala lambs are the most underrated babies of the bush in your opinion? I 100% agree with you, and I really believe that Impala is one of the most beautiful animals out here, and it's also one of the most underappreciated antelope. And I think it's just kind of, you know, we see so many of them in these vast numbers, in these massive herds, and you kind of just tend to drive past them all the time. But when you stop and you look at an Impala and you look at the different attributes of it, it's actually stunning. You look at the different colorations, how those colors fade into one another. It's really something special, hey? And I think that it's definitely an animal that we don't appreciate enough out here. And of course, everything has its purpose out here. So got to appreciate it all, hey? Oh, Basil, are you feeling a couple of drops there? Oh, I felt a couple, but let's hope it's going to stay away. This is something pretty exciting over here on the left hand side. Now, we had mentioned on Monday that we were going to see if we can find any positive sign of black rhino within the area. And what Basil is showing you right now is the dung of a black rhino. Now, initially, this most likely would have started off as a white rhino midden, where black rhinos come in, defecated on top, and what we see in a result here is almost looks like it's been taken over as such. And the reason why we can tell off the bat that it is a black rhino is firstly, it's got more of that orangey color to it. Now, for those of you that were on the drive on Monday, we had discussed a bit of the different parts of a tree, and we said that that center layer, that middle layer, was that cambium layer that holds all of the nutrients and the waters for the tree, right? So that's why you often find your elephant dung and black rhino dung tends to be a bit more of a orangey tinge. And something very unique with black rhino is when they feed, they have got a very distinctive tooth structure. So when they feed and they're biting on these branches, it cuts that branch at a perfect 45 degrees. So nice easy way to tell that this is a browser, firstly because it's got the twigs and the dung, and then dead giveaway for black rhino is that perfect 45 degree angle over there. But looking at that, we can also see that of white rhino sign over here. Now, if you look at the coloration difference, you'll see that all of this is just grass, and remember, a white rhino is a grazer, where a black rhino is a browser. So the white rhino only feeding on grass, black rhino only feeding on twigs and leaves. So you can see the grass for the white rhino in my right hand, and then the twig in my left hand for the black rhino. Now, you can also see that coloration difference. Look how it's a very distinctive coloration difference from the orangey kind of yellowish tinge to it to the more darker yellow tinge. So straight away we can tell this was both black rhino and white rhino that have utilized this area. And from the white rhino, what you can see also is it's very spread out here. Now, what they do, a white rhino, when it comes to market territory, is it defecates and then it stands where it's defecated and it kicks up its feet. Now, after doing that, when he walks out, he'll drag his feet with him, and that's what then causes these long drag lines of dung on the road. So it's almost like a rhino having a border post as such, demarcating the territory. So quite a fun one to do, quite a cool one to do as well. See where all of the middens are placed, and once you start to follow the different individuals, you can start to say, okay, this is Norman's territory, that is Bob's territory, and you can really establish a really awesome area for those particular species or individuals. Okay, but let's carry on. It's really nice to see activity in the area. You know, I always say that even if it is old activity, it doesn't mean that the animal is not nearby. It shows that they are utilizing the area. So never know, maybe we're going to get lucky. Never know. And it actually looks to be getting a little brighter. I know it may not seem like it on the camera, but it is getting slightly brighter. And it sounds like we are the only ones on the reserve this afternoon. Doesn't sound like anybody else is on the radio, which is pretty darn epic. We have got an entire reserve to ourselves, and not very often does that happen. Nothing quite like being out here with minimal vehicles. Really gives me that full-on wilderness feel. Impala here on the right, a lone female. Let's just give her a sec and see if she comes back. You see her? Just through the trees there. It's really difficult to see though. So with an Impala, a female being alone like that, there she goes. Oh, good spot there, Basil. So with an Impala being alone like that, you'll find that she's most likely just had a baby. And what they will do for a couple of hours to a couple of days sometimes is they go through a process called imprinting. Now, what that imprinting process entails is that youngster will only get to see mom. So it learns her scent, learns her coloration and so forth, so that when they are with the rest of the herd, it knows exactly who mom is and knows who to go to for food and water and so forth, or rather for suckling purposes. So very likely that she's had a youngster and she's hid it somewhere in this thicker, densely vegetated area. I'm going to leave it there for a while. She'll go off and feed, and she will come back and revisit the site for that youngster. She's gone. But we're not going to also hang around in the area, because if she has just dropped, we don't want to be disturbing that newborn, especially in the case that it's not really going to know what are the dangers and so forth. But we are also starting to get quite a bit of rain coming in, starting to get more and more drops as we go. So we might have to slowly make our way towards back towards Hayes, just so we don't get caught up with all the new equipment on board. But what we can do, maybe let's see if we can find a nice big tree, and while this rain comes in, we can maybe find a area where we can sit it out for a little bit, see how it goes, and then we can have a chat. It's also a nice opportunity for everybody to ask a couple of questions, see what sparks everyone's interest. But we have just got a message from FC, from Viam, saying that it is coming down at Hayes. So I think we are going to get a little wet. Nothing like a natural bush shower. Ooh, I can feel it coming now. Yeah, Michael, that is quite a shame. But I always find leopards are such secretive animals, so it also can be the case that they're just not seen. So it'll actually be a really interesting one to put up a number of camera traps in the area and see if they're still around. I know there's a lot of projects up that side where they're trying to, especially Panthera, are trying to help out and see what can be done to help the species there. Okay, yeah, we go in the rain. We just put a hat on so I don't look like a peacock again with my hair. It looks like it is coming in from the east, from the south, and from the north. So I think we're going to be in for an exciting time here. But we're going to try and stay on for as long as possible with keeping everything safe. So you might get a bit of disturbance in the mic as well. The wind has picked up quite furiously, but we'll try and keep you on for as long as possible, but also I don't want to throw Basil off the back, so got to make sure that we also at a decent speed here, that it is really starting to come down. quite exciting though. I always think of it as a real adventure. When the rain starts, the wind's picking up, there's lightning all around. So it's really like it all just comes alive out here. Okay, Basil, are you holding on?
Yeah.
I don't think Basil hasn't yet experienced my fast driving on this particular vehicle. So Basil, first time for everything, eh? We've got the camera all wrapped up in a poncho, and I think I'm probably going to take the tablet off. Maybe I'll put the tablet under my shirt. Just try and protect that a little bit. So it does look like we are going to have to probably abort the drive, but yeah, keep you on until we get back to HQ. You never know, there might be something coming out. Mary, it's an absolute pleasure. You know, we're always trying our absolute best to deliver this incredible product to you guys, and always try to the best possible experience out of every out of it. But this rain is said to be around for about the next 2 days or so. It says that it's going to be raining tomorrow morning, it's going to be raining on Friday. So hopefully we're going to get a gap between these storms. I don't want to stop right now because we are in the middle of the rain, but I can't even see Rietspruit, the mountain range right now, so we know that it's about to come in really, really heavy. But hey, at least we saw a young Impala, my first Impala lamb for the season. Really, really chuffed and stoked about that. Basil, how are you doing there? Turning around, looking back at Basil, and he's got the camera wrapped over his poncho wrapped over the camera and himself, and all huddled up. I wish I could turn around the camera and show you what it looks like. But this is like a proper Lowveld thunderstorm. We've got the lightning, like I said, we've got the thunder. So it's really, really like a proper experience. Like, you know, it's really something different. Good fun though, I must say. Like I mentioned, it really excites me because you don't know now what's going to happen, who's going to come out. That we're getting very wet. The good news is I do actually know where we are right now, so it's going to be a little bit easier for us to get back to Hayes without having to check on the map. But it is really starting to come down now. Don't know if you can see the rain right now from through the camera. Basil, can you see it there? How hard it's actually coming down. I'm sure you can see on my jacket how I'm getting absolutely soaked here. Pardon? Even on the lens. Acting like little magnifying glasses. Ferrari Safari to Hayes, exactly. And at least it is warm, exactly. Don't worry, we'll always get back safely. Basil, let's just quickly do a pan. Just show everyone the mountains and look at the storm. Try be quick there. I'm going to keep going because that's going to hit us in a second. We need to try and get back before that. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's an absolute wall of water coming our way. Go again, FC. So as you can see on the camera, I mean, it's really changed within 10 minutes of being, I mean, we've been out 30 minutes. And in the last 10 minutes, the weather's taken a turn. So why are we going? I know it's not ideal, but maybe you can just show everyone on the left that wall of water that is approaching us right now. But the great news is we're only about 58 seconds from Hayes. So luckily everything's going to be absolutely perfect. Camera's going to be good, the styling's going to be good, and we're going to keep the equipment safe and make sure that that we are able to continue to do the drives. Let's make a little loop here by our critter cam. I don't think the critter cam is going to be getting too much activity here at the little pool. Okay, but we are about heading to the garage, get the vehicle under cover, make sure that everything is kept and that we are able to continue. But to all of you, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry that it was such a short drive, but as you know, we can't control the weather, and we'll always do as best as possible to make sure we can deliver you the ultimate experience. But for now, have a great day, have a great morning, a great evening, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers, guys.